Assembly of the Prototype 5 frame. So I'm making this video because it's kind of hard to see how everything fits together just from pictures. And yeah, I hope this is helpful to put everything together. And the way the frame is designed is such that there are only 3 standoffs in the rear section. And this hole, because of tolerances with the manufacturer, is actually not quite big enough to fit the head of a screw through, which in the final version it will be big enough to fit the head of the screw through. But for now, you're going to need to thread this screw into the middle of the top plate, the middle of the main plate, and attach a standoff to it before moving forward. Okay, so once you have this main piece in, then you put your arms together with the lower plate assembly, which I'm going to do real fast. And you're going to be using not the smallest, but the medium length screws in the pack. So the medium length screws here. I'm going to bring all those out. There you go. And so when you look at the bottom plate, this hole here is pointing towards the front. And so on the bottom plate, this is the front. So it goes this way. And so the arm goes on like this. Thread this. And then we're going to put the whole thing together. There. And I'm going to take one of the press nuts. It's hard to do this off angle on camera, but I'm going to just put it on top there, and then I'm going to twist. It's going to engage the press nut, and then you can let go and just torque it down, and it will pull the press nut into the carbon. And now you have the first arm on. So this other one, same process. Let it engage. It's got to be fully centered. So you got to adjust it to fully center it. Okay. These screws will be a little bit longer in the final kit. All right, so once you've got all the arms on, the whole arm assembly complete, that's pretty much most of it. The rest of it is not that challenging, but it does have some pretty snug tolerances, so you are going to have to account for that. So this is the lower piece of the front, this front brace here, and this is supposed to have a press nut in it. So you're going to take one of these short screws, you're going to use the same process as the arms, and you're going to thread a press nut into it. You're going to keep threading, and you're going to pull the press nut into the carbon plate. And then you're going to unscrew the press nut, the screw. And now you've got a press nut in there. And so the way this goes on is actually going to be on top of this bottom plate here. So you're going to use that same screw. Leave it a little bit loose because it's going to be easier to get these side plates on. And these side plates are also have very good very snug tolerances. So you're going to have to kind of push them on. So this goes in here, and then this piece here slips onto the main deck here. And so you can do it however way you want, but basically you're going to have to kind of coerce it into fitting on. And then once you have one of them on, then you're going to take your 25mm standoff and you're going to thread that in place, and that will hold that carbon side plate nice and snug. There's a space there. There isn't supposed to be a space there, so you want to really jam it on there. And then you can do the same thing. Once you're at this point, the frame is pretty much done, but I'll go ahead, it's pretty self-explanatory, the rest of it, but I'll go ahead and finish it up as well. got your back on. One other thing I would point out is that this top plate is designed to have press nuts here and here for the GoPro mount, and it also has countersunk holes. Just make sure you put the press nuts on opposite the countersunk holes. So I'll show you that real quick. Same process as before. Take a screw, drop it through the hole, and you've got your press nut in place. But you see it's going in opposite the countersunk holes. So let's do the same thing for the other one. Top plate slips into these two pieces here. So that's pretty straightforward. And it's a little bit of work to get it in place. Once it pops on, and it's on. These would probably be used to hold the GoPro on, so you're going to want to use longer screws, but I'll just put one in for now. And then you could take your countersunk screws and put them in the countersunk holes. That's the whole frame. Oh, actually, never mind. I forgot. There's one more standoff that goes in the front as just the protection for the front. And now we are actually done. Okay, so the frame comes with a bunch of extra screws. This column of screws is for your motors, because Joshua Bardwell wants us to include screws for motor mounting because it's a 5mm frame. And then these are just flight controller mounting screws. The final is going to have a totally different hardware kit, just like something's removed, something's added, and that's about it. And you get a couple of spare screws along with the frame as well. And please let me know how you guys like it, how it builds, if it's a comfortable size, comfortable to build, and if everything fits nicely as expected. One more thing, there is the 4-ride mount for antennas, for specifically the DJI antenna slips onto the back standoffs, just like the 4-ride. It's the same spacing. And that's it. Thanks for watching.